The moment I opened my eyes, I couldn't breathe. Not because I was dying. Because my head was trapped inside a giant foam lion. No, worse. My head was a giant foam lion. What the hell? A translucent blue panel flickered in front of my eyes. What is this? My voice came out muffled, hollow. Fake. Like I was speaking through a tunnel made of plastic and cotton. I raised my hands. They weren't hands. They were oversized lion paws, bright orange, cartoonish, ridiculous. Then. Ding. System initialized. Host, Lior Lyons. Class, Mascot, Tier 0, non-player entity. Level 1. Stats. Stamina, 3. Agility, 2. Strength, 1. Ball control, 0. Game awareness, 0. Football IQ, 0. Skills, none. Passive skill, crowd entertainment LV.1. Effect, slight increase in audience excitement during non-match activities. Restriction, cannot register as official player under current class. I froze. Mascot. Non-player entity. Not even a player. No. No, no, no. Then the memories hit me like a tackle from behind. I wasn't always like this. I couldn't remember my name clearly, but I remembered enough. I used to play football, semi-pro midfielder, Ridgeford Academy graduate. My dream wasn't fame, it wasn't money, it wasn't headlines. It was simple. Step onto a World Cup pitch once, even once, and I'd die happy. Then came the injury, ACL rupture, then rejection letters, then silence, then darkness. And now I was here, a living lion costume, standing in a tunnel outside. I could hear a stadium roaring. Lior. Move it. A staff member shoved me forward. You're up. Home entrance in 30 seconds. I stumbled, my lion head tilted awkwardly. Through the narrow mesh eye holes, I saw it. Ridgeford United Stadium. Small, 3rd division, unalive. Green pitch, white lines, the sacred geometry of football. My heartbeat spiked. I'm still in football, I whispered, even like this. Ding. New quest. Objective, entertain 5,000 spectators before kickoff. Time limit, 10 minutes. Reward, +1 agility, unlock skill tree branch. Failure, -1 club reputation, possible contract termination. I looked at the crowd. 5,000 people. Half bored. Half on their phones. Entertain them? I looked down at my paws. Fine. If I couldn't play, I'd make them feel the game. The tunnel doors opened. Light exploded. Ridgeford, Ridgeford, Ridgeford. The chant was weak. Dying. I stepped out. My new body wobbled. I raised my arms. Nothing. No reaction. I tried again. Jumped. Spun. Still nothing. This isn't working. Then I remembered something. Crowds don't react to effort. They react to emotion. So I stopped moving. Then I pointed toward the pitch. Slowly. Deliberately. And I mimicked the striker celebrating a last-minute goal. I ran. Slid. Pretended to scream in victory. I exaggerated everything. Too much. Over the top. Ridiculous. A mascot shouldn't feel real. So I became unreal. A few kids laughed. Then more. Then a chant started in the lower sand. Lior. 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 I felt it. The shift. Ding. Quest progress, 42%, 91%. Crowd engagement rising. I leaned into it. I started copying iconic celebrations. Sue, like Ronaldo. Ear cup like Messi at Camp Nou. Knee slide like Didier Drogba. Each one hit differently. Old fans smiled at Drogba. Young fans screamed at Ronaldo. Parents recognized Messi. The stadium wasn't bored anymore. It was alive. Ding. Quest complete. Reward, +1 agility. Skill unlocked, crowd sync LV.1. Effect, user can synchronize movements with crowd emotion flow. My body felt lighter. Faster. The suit feel of my body wasn't as heavy. This is real growth. I looked at my paws. They felt responsive. Like they were reacting before I thought. Then a ball rolled near the sideline. Warm-up mistake. One of the substitutes had overhit a pass. It rolled right toward me. A staff member shouted, "Oi, Mascot, send it back." But my foot moved before I even thought. Tap. Contact. Everything slowed. Ding. Skill activated. Crowd sync LV.1. Effect, movement timing aligns with external rhythm. The ball bounced. I tapped it again. Knee. Then chest. Then foot. 3 touches. Clean. Controlled. The crowd noticed immediately. Did the mascot just juggle? No way. Bro, what? My heart stopped. I wasn't supposed to be doing this. But my body didn't care. It wanted more. I flicked the ball up. Higher. 1 bounce. 2. 3. Then a whistle shattered the moment. Out of the technical area. The referee pointed at me. Angry. Confused. I froze. Right. Mascots don't touch footballs. That's law 1 of football governance. I backed away immediately. But, ding. Hidden condition triggered. Condition, demonstrated technical ball control in restricted role. Reward, unlocked class evolution tree. A new interface opened. 3 paths opened up. Class evolution options. 1. Elite mascot. Crowd amplification, club influence growth. 2. Shadow performer. Indirect match influence, tactical awareness boost. 3. Illegal substitution, lock. Requires rule breach, match involvement. My eyes locked onto the third one. Illegal substitution. So that's how I get on the pitch. A smile crept under the mask. Dangerous. Impossible. Perfect. The assistant coach grabbed my arm. What the hell are you doing? Stay in character. I nodded quickly. But inside, I was already seeing more. Formations. Spaces. Weak points. I realized instantly Ridgeford United's warm-up structure was messy. Even in pre-match drills, their midfield spacing was off. Too vertical. No triangle support. No pivot stability. I couldn't stop looking. Even as a mascot, football never leaves you. Ding. System analysis mode unlocked. Observe match-related patterns to gain game awareness EXP. So I can level by watching. Perfect. I turned my head toward the pitch. Kickoff was in 5 minutes. This was the real game. Ding. Projection system, carry match analysis. Opponent, Blackport City FC. Formation, 4-4-2 diamond. Style, high press, central overload. Ridgeford United, 4-2-3-1. Weakness, transition defense, midfield isolation. My eyes narrowed. They're going to get crushed. The opponent's diamond midfield would suffocate Ridgeford's double pivot. The central attacking midfielder would get trapped. Fullbacks would overpush. Classic collapse. I clenched my fists. If I were on the pitch, I'd fix it instantly. Ding. Quest update. Objective, influence tactical adjustment before kickoff. Reward, sideline authority LV.1. Failure, system lock on evolution tree for 24 hours. So now I have to coach too. I looked at the staff area. Coach Daniels stood there. Clipboard. Anxious. Shouting instructions that were already outdated. I walked toward him. Slow. Heavy mascot steps. He didn't notice at first. Then I spoke. Switch to 4-3-3. Silence. The assistant froze. What? The coach turned. Who said that? I pointed at the pitch. They're going to overload your pivot. You'll lose midfield in 10 minutes. Pause. Then laughter. Is the mascot talking tactics now? But I continued. Drop the central attacking midfielder into a false 8. Build a triangle. Force wide play, their diamond collapses under lateral stress. Silence again. The coach stared at me, long, hard. Then, we're not listening to a mascot. Ding. Quest incomplete. Time remaining, 60 seconds. My fists tightened. You'll concede before minute 15. The whistle blew. Match start. Blackport City immediately pressed. High line. Aggressive. Exactly as predicted. Ridgeford's midfield panicked. First pass intercepted. Shot. Post. Second ball. Goal. 0-1. 9 minutes. Exactly. I exhaled slowly. I warned you. The coach looked stunned. That was too fast. I didn't respond. 10 minutes later, the opposing team lined up and scored their second goal. 0-2. The game was slipping, and the entire structure begged for change. Ding. Jimmy awareness EXP +2. I wasn't just a mascot here. I was reading football differently. Like code, patterns, pressure points, weak links. I needed the coach to believe me. At halftime, Coach Daniel slammed the tactics board. We're being destroyed in midfield. Wrong diagnosis, completely wrong. I stepped forward again. It's not midfield. Everyone turned. I pointed. It's spacing. You're too stretched vertically. Your pivot has no support triangle. Dead silence. I continued. They're not beating you physically. They're deleting your structure. The assistant coach muttered, "This lion is insane." The coach hesitated. Then, "Try it. Formation shift. 4-3-3. Second half." The difference was immediate. Midfield stabilized, short passing chains formed, pressure resistance improved, Ridgeford kept possession. Then, minute 61. Diagonal pass, wing overlap, cutback. Shot. Goal. 1-2. The stadium exploded. And for the first time, I felt it. Football. Not watching, not analyzing, impact. Ding. Skill level up. Crowd sync LV.1 LV.2. Game awareness, 0-4. I stared at the pitch. I'm still not on it. But I was closer. Final moments. 89th minute. Score, 1-2. Ridgeford counterattack, through ball, striker slips, ball rolls toward sideline. Toward me. Time slowed. Illegal substitution condition detected. Override available. My heart stopped. Already? Law 3 of football, only registered players may enter. Breaking it meant everything: career, identity, reality. But I looked at the pitch, at the ball, at the goal. I was never meant to be just a mascot. Override. Ding. Class evolution, shadow player. Temporary field access granted, 10 seconds. I stepped onto the pitch. Everything blurred. One touch. Control, second touch, pass. Perfect weight, perfect curve. The striker didn't even adjust, just shot. Goal. 2-2. And I stepped back immediately, as if I was never there. The whistle blew. Full time. Ridgeford equalized. The stadium erupted. But I wasn't listening. Because my system was flashing. Warning, rule violation detected. Sanction, pending review. The coach approached me slowly. Good call. I said nothing. My lion suit just kept that goofy smile on its face. Ding. MN Quest updated. Rise from Mascot Shadow Player. Stage 1, register as amateur player, locked. Stage 2, earn official match minutes. Stage 3, enter top league. Final goal, World Cup qualification. I looked at the pitch, then the ball, then the crowd. Maybe next time. I clenched my fists. I'm not settling for a draw. Next time. We're winning the match. The morning after the match, I woke up to silence. Not stadium silence. Office silence. Cold, sterile, paper-heavy silence. Where am I? My voice echoed slightly under the lion mask. No pitch, no crowd. Just a cramped club office with fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. What do mascots do when games aren't being played? Then I noticed the 3 men staring at me like I was a problem they couldn't delete. A woman walked in, black suit, club badge on her lapel. Technical director. Her eyes scanned me. Not like a joke, like data. Show me the footage. Match review room, 10 minutes later. The replay played on the screen. First goal conceded, midfield gap. Second line collapse. My voice from yesterday echoed. They're deleting your structure. The woman paused the video, rewound, paused again. He's correct. The blue-suited executive frowned. That's not possible analysis from a mascot. She ignored him. Instead, she turned to me. How did you realize this? I hesitated, because how do you explain a system that turns football into stats floating in your vision? I just saw it. That wasn't a lie. But it wasn't the full truth either. Ding. System notice. Tactical insight registered. Game awareness EXP +1. The director studied me longer. Then she said something that changed everything. Can we register him? The room froze. What? The executive snapped. She didn't look away from me. You said it yourself, he isn't even staff, so we make him one. Amateur support registration. Contract trial. Coach Daniels blinked. You can't be serious. She finally turned. I am. Then back to me. But under one condition. My heart slowed. Condition? She tapped the screen. A list appeared. Trial conditions. 1. Must prove consistent tactical value. 2. Must pass physical evaluation. 3. Must not violate league regulations again. 4. Must remain under Mascot contract until approval. Mascot contract, still trapped, but closer. Ding. New quest. Objective, pass amateur support evaluation. Time limit, 48 hours. Reward, full staff registration unlock. Failure, class lock, current Mascot tier permanently. My fists tightened. I accept. Blue suit looked furious. This is insane. But the director didn't move. It's football, she said calmly, and he understands it better than our staff did yesterday. 2 hours later, training grounds. I stood on the pitch again, but not as a mascot, not officially, just there. Lion head still on. But something felt different. Players were warming up, actual players. They looked at me like I was a glitch in reality. One of them laughed. Are we training with the mascot now? Another one nudged him. Bro, he's the guy who talked tactics yesterday. Silence. Then more staring. I ignored it. Because the system was active. Ding. Evaluation mode active. Task 1, basic ball control assessment. A coach rolled a ball toward me. Simple pass. Too simple. I stepped forward. Tap, control, tap, juggle, knee, chest, foot. The ball stayed close. Clean, confident. The coach frowned. That's not beginner level. I didn't respond. Because I wasn't thinking. My body just moved. Like it remembered football better than I did. Ding. Skill EXP gained. Crowd sync LV.2 LV.3. Unlock, micro movement prediction. I blinked. Micro movement prediction. Suddenly I could feel it. Not just the ball, the space around it, where it would go before it moved, a defender's weight shift, a passing lane forming. I looked up. And everything made sense. This isn't fair, someone muttered. Sounded like the striker's voice. But I wasn't listening. Because Task 2 had already started. Task 2, small-sided match, 5v5. Rules. No tactical instruction allowed. No coaching intervention. Evaluate decision-making under pressure. A whistle blew. Game started. Immediate chaos. Two-touch football, fast transitions, high press. And I was placed as a neutral wildcard player, not assigned a team, just floating, watching, waiting. Then the ball came. First instinct, control. But something else triggered. Ding. System active. Micro movement prediction enabled. I saw it before it happened, the pass angle, the interception point, the defender sprint path. I stepped in, intercepted, turned, one-touch pass. Perfect weight. Teammate didn't even call for it, but it landed exactly where his run would be. He scored. Everyone stopped. Okay, one player muttered. Who passed that? I didn't answer. Because I was already moving. Second phase, ball recovered by opposition, long pass incoming, too strong, too fast. But I saw the bounce point, adjusted, timed it, jumped, chest control. Drop, volley pass. Another assist. Silence again. Ding. Evaluation progress, 37%, 68%. Now they were watching me differently. Not as a mascot, not as a joke in a cartoon lion costume, as an oddity. Then it happened. A tackle. Hard. From behind. I hit the ground, lion head cracked slightly sideways. Pain. Real pain. But also clarity. The player who tackled me laughed, the same striker, Victor. Relax, mascot. I stood up slowly. Something inside me shifted. Ding. Emotion trigger, competitive response. Skill evolution available. Again. The coach frowned. What? I pointed at the ball. Give it again. Silence. Then the drill resumed. Harder this time. Faster. More aggressive. But I adapted. Every pass. Every movement, I was reading it, not reacting, predicting. And slowly, the entire 5v5 started bending around me. Ding. Evaluation progress, 68%, 94%. Final moment. Score tied. Last possession, ball at my feet, 3 defenders closing in. Options. Left pass, blocked. Right pass, risky. Forward dribble, high interception risk. But I saw something else. A diagonal run no one else noticed, tiny gap, half space opening. I didn't think. I passed. Perfect. Through all 3 defenders. Assist, goal. Whistle blew, match ended. Silence. Then applause. Slow at first. Then louder. Victor scoffed and muttered, "This not normal practice. I am not playing games with a mascot." Ding. Evaluation complete. Result, pass, exceptional tactical intelligence. Reward unlocked, shadow player registration eligibility. My heart pounded. So I'm in. But before I could even process, the system flashed red. Warning. League registration block detected. Reason, existing mascot contract conflict. Solution required, contract override or transfer. I froze. So I'm still trapped. Then the door opened. Coach Daniels walked in. He looked exhausted. Then he said something quietly. "They won't let you register." My stomach dropped. Blue suit must have done something. He continued. "But..." Pause. "There's a workaround." I looked up. "What kind of workaround?" He hesitated. Then, International Youth League. Silence. My heart slowed. "You mean?" He nodded. "You will be working with our youth teams." The system flickered. Ding. New main quest update. Path, escape current mascot contract. Route, international football entry system. Goal, secure foreign trial contract. So I leave Ridgeford. The coach nodded slowly. For now. Just a few games. Then added. "And if you succeed." He looked at me seriously. "You come back full-time to Ridgeford." Pause. "Maybe even as a player." I looked at the pitch outside the window. Training continued, football continued, life continued. But for me, everything had changed. I whispered. World Cup isn't a dream anymore. I tightened my lion gloves. It might become a reality. The contract hit the table like a red card. Flat, final, unforgiving. "You can't leave." Blue suit didn't even look at me when he said it. His name was Dander Michaels, rich Wall Street type. He just slid the document forward. Ridgeford United, Mascot Agreement. Clause 7.2, Exclusive Representation. Clause 9.1, Stadium Activity Restriction. Clause 12.4, Role Integrity Enforcement. Termination fee, $250,000. I stared at the number. "You've got to be kidding me." Coach Daniels leaned against the wall, arms folded. "Told you." The technical director stayed quiet, watching, analyzing, like always. Blue suit Michaels finally looked up. "You signed this contract. You are club property in a non-playing capacity." Property. That word hit harder than any tackle. "I'm just a prop," I said. He shrugged. "Legally, you are." Ding. System alert. Status, progress blocked. Main quest obstructed, player registration. New sub-objective generated. A new panel opened. Escape condition. Option 1, pay contract termination fee. Option 2, club release approval, low probability. Option 3, exploit contract loophole, hidden. My eyes locked onto the third one. Hidden. There's always a loophole. Director Gain Matthews spoke. "There is." Everyone turned. She stepped forward calmly. "Tournaments." The executive frowned. "What?" She crossed her arms. Clause 9.1 restricts him from official match participation, but exhibition and promotional events are allowed. Silence. Then it clicked. Coach Daniels blinked. You're serious? She nodded. If he's invited as a mascot to an international youth showcase. She looked at me. He steps outside domestic registration rules. My heartbeat spiked. And then, she smiled slightly. Then he gets seen. Ding. New quest. Objective, enter international youth showcase unofficial. Reward, foreign trial opportunity. Failure, contract lot continues. Dander Michael slammed his hand on the table. That's absurd. No serious Club Scouts mascots. Gain Matthews tilted her head slightly. That's not what I've been hearing from other directors. You need to broaden your research pool. 24 hours later, Ridgeford training ground. Rain. Cold. Empty stands. And me, standing alone on the pitch. Still in my new body that looked like a lion suit mascot to everyone else. If I'm going international. I looked down at my stats. Status panel. Level 3. Stamina 4. Agility 4. Strength 1. Ball control 2. Game awareness 4. Skills. Crowd sync LV.3. Micro movement prediction LV.1. This isn't enough. World Cup players weren't built on stats like this. They were monsters. I need to level. Ding. Training mode unlocked. Simulated growth enabled outside match conditions. Efficiency reduced x 0.5. Fine. I dropped a ball at my feet, then another, then 3 more. If I wanted to play matches, I needed to build fundamentals until my next match in the coming days. Relentlessly. System log. Day 1. Juggling 200 touches. First touch drills 87% success. Weak foot passes 42% accuracy. Ding. Ball control +1. Day 2. Sprint with costume resistance. Acceleration drills. Balance under weight constraint. Ding. Agility +1. Stamina +1. Day 3. Wall passing. One-touch sequences. Blind pass prediction. Ding. Game awareness +1. Skill upgrade available. I collapsed onto the grass. Breathing heavy inside the suit. This thing is holding me back. Then. Ding. Passive evolution. Crowd sync performance sync LV.1. Effect, movement efficiency increases when under observation. So I get stronger when people watch. I smirked. Guess I was built for stadiums after all. On day 4, the director walked onto the pitch holding a tablet. We got it. My head snapped up. Got what? She turned the screen. International Youth Showcase, invitation. Location, Marseille, France. Participants, youth academies, scout networks, exhibition teams. Special entry, Ridgeford United mascot performance slot. My heart pounded. This is real. Coach Daniels stepped beside her. Scouts from League One, Bundesliga academies, even some Premier League youth staff. Names flashed in my head. Clairefontaine, La Masia, Ajax Academy. This is my chance. But the director raised a finger. One problem. I froze. What now? She tapped again. Another list appeared. Showcase condition. Mascot performance slot only. No official match registration. Limited pitch interaction. So my time on the pitch is limited until I attain full-time support function. Coach nodded. Officially. I smiled slowly as I thought to myself, good thing I don't only do things officially. Of course. Ding. Illegal substitution path updated. New requirement, execute undetected match influence in international event. Reward, skill evolution plus global recognition. Perfect. The system understood me too well. At the airport, as the team prepared to leave to France, it hit me. This was the first time leaving the country since, before everything. The lion suit was packed. Nobody noticed anything strange when they took me apart and stuffed me in my travel duffel bag. My training drills seemed to be doing wonders for my strength, agility, and stamina. Conditions met for upgrade. I took a look at my updated stats. Host, Lior Lyons. Class, Mascot, Tier 1, non-player entity. Level, 3. Stats. Stamina, 5. Agility, 6. Strength 5. Custom reinforced, slightly upgraded exterior, new materials, lighter joints. I noticed it immediately. My body feels different. Ding. Cosmetic evolution. Mascot suit Tier 1 Tier 2. Changes. Reduced movement resistance. Enhanced visibility mesh. Reinforced joint flexibility. So even the suit evolves. That meant one thing. As I grew, the mascot would too. Not just a disguise. A form. We arrived at the Marseille Showcase Stadium. Bigger, louder, different energy. This wasn't Ridgeford anymore. This was international football culture. I saw them immediately, young players, sharp, focused, technical. One kid was juggling effortlessly while walking. Another was practicing free kicks with insane curve. These are real prospects. Then, I felt it. A presence. Across the pitch. Another mascot. Tall, dark blue wolf suit, different, not clumsy, not exaggerated, still watching me. Ding. Entity detected. Type, sentient mascot, confirmed. Name, unknown. Class, unknown. Level, 7. Threat level, moderate. You've got to be kidding me. So I wasn't the only one. And level 7 was moderate. The wolf tilted its head. Then. Ding. Field mascot link established. Communication channel open. A voice echoed in my head. You're new. I froze. You can hear me? The wolf chuckled. Of course. You think you're the only one chasing the pitch? My heart pounded. Who are you? Pause. Call me Noir. I stared. You're here to play too. No, she said calmly. I'm here to dominate. Ding. New rivalry established. Lior versus Noir. Reward for victory, skill evolution. Penalty for loss, stat suppression, temporary. Of course. A rival, in a mascot suit, at an international showcase. This world was insane. Showcase event start. Crowds filled in, scouts seated, players lined up. And mascots? Entertainment, distraction, background noise. Exactly what they thought I was. Good. I stepped onto the sideline, ball at my feet. No official match. But scrimmages were happening, loose, unstructured, perfect. Ding. Objective updated. Influence match outcome without registration. The ball rolled loose. A youth midfielder miscontrolled under pressure. I moved. Fast, cleaner than before. First touch, controlled. Second touch. A flick pass. Invisible. The player turned, shot. Goal. No one noticed me. But something did. Across the pitch. The wolf. Noir. So that's your game, she said. Then she moved. A defender slipped, a pass curved unnaturally, another goal. The crowd reacted. But not to us. To the players. Perfect, invisible influence. Ding. Skill activated. Shadow influence LV.1. Effect, slightly alter ball trajectory and player timing without detection. My eyes widened. Now this is football. Not playing, not coaching, controlling. But then a whistle blew. Not for the match. For us. A staff member pointed. Mascots off the sideline. Too much, too visible. I stepped back. But Noir didn't move. Instead, she looked straight at me. Let's make this interesting. Ding. Mascot face OFF initiated. Objective, outperform rival influence during showcase. Time limit, 15 minutes. Reward, skill evolution. Penalty, stat suppression. My heart slowed. Finally. A real match. Not players, not teams. Mascots, reincarnated, competing, for control. I adjusted my stance. My suit felt lighter, sharper, alive. You wanted to dominate. I smiled under the mask. Try me. The moment the whistle cut through the stadium, the real match began. Not the one on the scoreboard. Not the one the scouts were watching. Ours. Ding. Mascot face OFF, active. Lior Lyons, lion, versus Noir Fong, wolf. Mode, indirect influence. Win condition, highest match impact score. Time limit, 1500 hours. Metrics. Successful influence actions. Goal contribution, indirect. Detection avoidance. Efficiency rating. Penalty, detection equals immediate disqualification. I exhaled slowly. So this is how we fight? No tackles, no fouls, no whistles. Just control. Invisible control. Across the pitch, Noir stood still, watching, waiting. Then, she moved first. Minute 1. Black jersey midfielder received the ball under pressure. Normal situation, he should have passed back. Instead, his first touch bounced slightly too far. A red and blue jersey player stepped in, intercept, through ball, shot. Goal. 1-0. The crowd erupted. I didn't move. But the system did. Ding. NOR action log. Micro disruption applied. Touch error induced. Chain result, goal. Score, Noir 1.0. She forced the mistake. Clean, subtle. I narrowed my eyes. All right. My turn. Minute 3. Ball rotated through midfield, sloppy tempo, no rhythm. I stepped closer to the sideline, not touching the field, but close enough. Ding. Skill, shadow influence LV.1 active. I focused. Not on the ball. On the player. Jersey number 8, his body angle, his next move. I felt it. Like reading a pass before it happened. I didn't push, didn't force. Just nudged. A fraction. The ball rolled cleaner, smoother. He didn't hesitate. One-touch pass, split the midfield line. Winger received, cut inside, shot. Goal. 1-1. Ding. Action log. Flow enhancement applied. Passing lane optimization. Chain result, goal. Score, Lior 1.0. The system balanced. Across the pitch, Noir smiled. You're better than I thought. I tilted my head. You're predictable. She laughed. Then keep up. Minute 6. The tempo increased, faster transitions, sharper presses. Players didn't know why. But we did. Because we were pushing it. Noir moved again. This time. Defense. A long ball launched, should have been cleared easily. But the defender misjudged the bounce. Ball slipped, striker threw on goal. 1v1, shot. Saved. But barely. Ding. NOR action log. Perception delay induced. Result, defensive breakdown. Score, Noir 1.6. She's targeting reactions now. Not just touches. Decision timing. That was dangerous, that was high level. Fine. Let's raise it. Ding. Skill evolution available. Condition, high-level rival pressure. Upgrade shadow influence. Do it. Ding. Skill evolved. Shadow influence LV.2. New effect, dual vector manipulation. Can influence both ball and player movement simultaneously, low intensity. The world shifted. Not visually, but mentally. Now I didn't just see paths. I saw outcomes. Minute 9. Midfield congestion, 5 players, tight space, no obvious play. Perfect. I stepped forward slightly, activated. Ball at number 6 feet, I nudged his balance, tiny. Then adjusted the ball path, even smaller. He turned unexpectedly, the defender bit, space opened. Through pass, perfect. Striker received, shot. Goal. Match score 2-1. Ding. Action log. Dual influence chain. Result, goal. Mascot point, Lior 2.4. The system updated instantly. I was ahead. For the first time. Noir frowned. You evolved mid-match. I smirked at her. You didn't? I made an exaggerated crying motion across the field at her. The crowd loved it. Good, the more worked up they were in my team's favor, the better for me. Minute 11. Pressure, real pressure. Noir stepped forward, closer to the field. Too close, risky, but powerful. A cross came in, high, defender ready to clear, standard play. But the ball dipped unnaturally, late, too late. Defender mistimed, ball slipped behind, tap in. Goal. Match score 2-2. Ding. NOR action LOG. Trajectory override, advanced. Result, goal. Mascot point, Noir 2.5. Across the field, Noir blew air kisses and signed air autographs to her fans. My eyes widened. She can bend trajectory that hard? That wasn't LV.4. Or LV.5. That was something else. She's ahead of me. The system pulsed. Warning. Opponent skill tier, higher. Adaptive growth required. Okay, since she wants to bend it like Beckham, I will adapt. Minute 13. Time running out, score tied. This was it. Final sequence. The ball rolled into midfield, loose, unclaimed, chaos. Perfect. I stepped right up to the line. Closer than before, too close. Ding. Warning. Detection risk, high. Just one play. I focused everything. Not one player, not two. The entire sequence. Every movement, every pass, every option. I saw it. The full chain. 8 steps ahead. Now. I activated everything. Shadow influence, performance sync, micro-prediction. All at once. The midfielder turned early, passed before pressure, winger cut inside sooner, fullback overlapped late, cross angle shifted, defender jumped too soon, ball dropped behind, striker adjusted. But instead of shooting, he flicked. Back heel. Midfielder arriving late. Shot. Goal. Match score 3-2. The stadium erupted. Scouts stood. Players shouted. What was that play? But I didn't hear them. Because the system was screaming. Ding. Perfect chain execution. 8-step influence sequence completed. Level up criteria met. Mascot point, Lior 4.8. The timer hit 0. Ding. Face OFF complete. Winner, Lior Lyons. Rewards. Skill evolution. Rival mark established. New ability unlock. Across the pitch, War stood still. Then slowly. She started clapping. You win this one. I exhaled. This one? She nodded, then sauntered back into the dugout. But the next match. That's mine. Ding. Rival status updated. Noir, persistent rival. Next encounter, unknown. The system settled. Then a new panel appeared. New ability unlocked. Field presence LV.1. Effect, slight passive boost to nearby player's performance when within influence radius. So now I buff players too. That changed everything. Not just control. Not just influence. Enhancement. Then, applause. Real applause. Not for the players. For the match. But also for something they couldn't explain. A reporter stood near the sideline, watching me, then switching her gaze to Noir, not the players, us, the mascots. She narrowed her eyes and whispered rapidly into her phone. Ding. Quest complete. International exposure achieved. Next objective unlocked. Secure foreign club trial. It worked. I looked at the pitch, at the players, at the scouts, then at where Noir stood. Empty now. She was gone. This is just the beginning. Because now. They were watching. The roar hit different that night. Not loud, not chaotic. Hostile. The moment I stepped out of the tunnel, in my upgraded lion suit, aura faintly shimmering, the stadium didn't welcome me. Black banners waved across the stands. Greyford City. Top of the table, undefeated in 8. And tonight? They weren't just here to win. They were here to bury Ridgeford. Ding. Event match detected. Mascot Derby, Ridgeford United vs. Greyford City. Special conditions active. Enemy entity detected. And then, I saw him. Standing across the pitch, tall, cloaked, a skeletal mascot with glowing red eyes beneath a hood, a scythe-shaped prop resting on his shoulder. Greyford's mascot. Ding. Enemy identified. Type, sentient mascot. Name, Grim. Class, Reaper mascot, Tier 2, tactical disruptor. Level, 11. Skills. Fear induction LV.3. Tempo drain LV.2. Death mark, locked condition. Passive. Crowd suppression aura. Yeah, I muttered. This one's not here to dance. He tilted his head. And then. He waved. Not friendly, not mocking. Acknowledging. Like a striker before kickoff. Like two players who already knew this match was personal. Carry match, clash of auras. The crowd noise dipped unnaturally, not silence, but pressure, heavy. Oppressive. Grim stepped forward slowly along the opposite touchline. Every movement dragged the energy down. Chants slowly died mid-sentence, drums slowed, even players looked uneasy. Ding. Status effect applied. Tempo drain. Minus 10% team stamina regeneration. Minus 5% reaction speed. He's nerfing the team before kickoff. Not happening. I stepped forward, activated everything. Skill activated, Crowd Engine LV.2. Skill activated, King's Rhythm LV.1. I raised both arms. Ridge, forward. Silence, for half a second. Then, a kid in the front row shouted back. Ridgeford. Then another, then a section. Then the entire stadium reignited. The pressure cracked. Status negated. Tempo drain partially resisted. Team buffs applied. Plus 10% stamina regen. Plus 5% movement speed. Grim stopped walking. For the first time. He paused. Then slowly. He nodded. Good, I said under my breath. Let's play. First half, football versus fear. Kickoff. Grayford lined up in a 3-4-2-1, compact, disciplined, brutal in transitions. Their double tens floated between lines like shadows. Classic modern pressing hybrid, bits of Simeone discipline, bits of Klopp aggression. And their striker? A poacher, fox-in-the-box type, Filippo Inzaghi reincarnated. Minute 6. Turnover, quick vertical pass, one touch, finish. 0-1. The crowd dipped again. Grim lifted his side slightly. Ding. Enemy skill activated, fear induction LV.3. Effect? Reduced player confidence. Increased error rate under pressure. I watched as our center-back hesitated on a simple clearance, our midfielder miscontrolled, our winger stopped making runs. He's not boosting his team. He's breaking mine. I activated analysis mode. Patterns flooded in. Grayford didn't need possession. They needed mistakes. They forced them, engineered them. So we stopped playing reactive. I turned toward the bench. Coach? He looked at me immediately now, no hesitation, no confusion. They're baiting mistakes. Stop forcing build-up. Go long. He frowned. That's not our style. It is now. Quest, counter-tactical suppression. Objective, neutralize fear-based disruption. Second balls, I continued. Win them, compress midfield, play like Atletico. A pause. Then. Do it. The adjustment. Minute 18. Goal kick. Instead of building from the back, we launched it long, target man won the header, midfield collapsed, second ball secured, quick switch wide. Cross, header, goal. 1-1. The stadium exploded. Grim didn't move. But I saw it. That flicker, that recognition. You adapted, his presence seemed to say. Of course I did. Mascot clash, invisible war. The game stabilized. But beneath it, something else was happening. Every time Grim moved, our players slowed slightly. Every time I activated Crowd Engine, they surged. It wasn't visible on broadcast. But on the field, it was everything. Minute 32. I stepped closer to the touchline, closer to him. You could have been a player too. For the first time. He spoke. Voice distorted. Echoing. Players fade. Influence remains. I smirked. Yeah. I'm taking both. Second half, escalation. Halftime, score, 1-1. But the system had more in store. Event phase 2 unlocked. Mascot dual conditions met. Temporary skill expansion enabled. My panel expanded. New skill blinking. Unlock, territorial domain LV.1. Effect. Create a 20-meter influence zone. Boost ally stats. Reduce enemy effectiveness. A domain? I grinned. Now we're talking. Minute 55. I activated it. A faint golden field spread around the right flank. Our winger, Kai, entered it. His movement sharpened instantly, explosive, confident. He beat one man, then another, cut inside, shot, saved. But the shift was clear. Grim responded instantly. Enemy skill activated, Grave Domain LV.1. A dark aura spread on the opposite side. Our left back stumbled, misjudged a pass, nearly cost us a goal. So it's territory control now. Football turned into a battlefield. The turning point. Minute 78. Still 1-1. Fatigue setting in, pressure rising. Then, mistake. Our midfielder slipped, ball lost, Grayford countered. 3 players versus 2. I saw it. Too fast, too clean. Ding. Critical event detected. Match deciding sequence. Grim raised his scythe. Enemy skill, death mark activated. Target, Ridgeford goal. Effect, next shot equals plus 80% conversion rate. No. I'm not losing this. Condition met, King's resolve. Override available. Do it. Illegal substitution, phase 2. The world blurred. Ding. Class shift, shadow player territorial entity. Field access granted, 15 seconds. I step onto the pitch. Again. No whistle, no interruption. Just instinct. I sprinted into the passing lane, intercepted, one-touch control. The striker lunged. Too slow. Second touch, turn. I saw the entire pitch, every player, every run, every option. Total football. Like Cruyff, like Guardiola's system, fluid, interchangeable, perfect. Through ball, outside of the foot, De Bruyne style. Kai ran onto it. First touch, clean. Second, shot. Goal. 2-1. The stadium erupted. Time snapped back. I stepped off the pitch. System flickering violently. Ding. Warning. Repeated rule violation detected. Sanction level increasing. Grim stood still. Watching me. You broke the rules. Ballsy. I bent them some more. Hooker ready for when it snaps back into place, he said grimly. Final whistle. Ridgeford held on, barely, but they did. 2-1. Victory. The crowd chanted louder than ever. Lior. 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 But across the pitch. Grim turned, walking back into the tunnel. Then he stopped slightly. Next time, his voice echoed faintly, no limits. Good, I replied. I was getting bored. Event complete. Rewards. +2 game awareness. +1 ball control. Skill upgrade, King's Rhythm LV.2. Unlock, rivalry system. Ding. New rival added. Grim, the Reaper mascot. Mascots boosting teams. Controlling matches. Breaking rules. I smiled. If this keeps scaling, the World Cup won't be the most important cup. It'll be the Mascot Leagues. The message came at 2:13 a.m. A glowing notification. Bright pulse. Ding. New feature unlocked. Mascot Global Chat Interface. A small icon blinked in the corner of my vision. Unread message, unknown sender. This better not be another system tutorial. I opened it. Grem, you're ready. I froze. We can communicate outside of matches now. Feature unlocks when you get to level 10, he replied. I realized I must have hit level 10 rapidly after beating 2 higher leveled mascots in a row. Grim was still typing. 3 dots. Then. Grim, meet. Midnight. Away ground dot. Another message appeared, different sender. Noir, don't be late, Lior. We don't wait for rookies dot. Location ping. Midnight FC Stadium. Away ground, ping. Quest generated. Enter a mascot dungeon. Objective, clear instance with allied mascots. Participants, Creme, Noir. Reward, unknown. Failure, unknown. Of course it's unknown. I stood up. The lion suit materializing piece by piece to form my body, upgraded fur, sharper lines, eyes glowing faint gold. Guess I'm traveling. Midnight FC, where the light doesn't reach. The stadium was dark. Not empty, not abandoned. But quiet in a way that felt deliberate. No banners, no music, just shadows. Creepy branding, I muttered. Late. Noir stepped out from a tunnel, grey wolf suit, sleek, almost too real. Grim stood beside her, silent, watching. Had to make an entrance, I replied. You'll need more than that, Noir said, down here. She turned and led us beneath the stadium. The door. It wasn't hidden, that was the strange part. A massive metal door, covered in scratches, faded paint. And one symbol. A circle. Inside it, 3 mascots. So it's not just us. It's an upgraded dungeon, 3 versus 3 matches, most likely 3 levels to it too, Noir explained. I'm sorry, what? I replied dumbly. Grim cleared up my confusion. When a team loses a game, a dungeon shows up beneath the stadium. Beat the dungeon, clear the dark gravitas that hangs around the field. You get props and equipment that power up your suit in team matches. This information surprised me, almost made me angry. Wait, what is this? An incentive to lose matches just to power up the suits? Did you guys lose on purpose for this? No, Grim said. It never was, it is a learning opportunity. Noir was getting impatient. Look, when the team loses a match, the coach and players spend time watching the tapes to learn what they could do better. We learn to get better by facing the dungeon to better support our teams. That kind of made sense, I think. What is in the dungeon? I asked. Mascot Dungeon OPN. Midnight Instance, Trial of Echoes. Recommended Team, 3. Trial of Echoes. Noir placed her hand on the door. Stay close, you'll see when we get inside, she said. And don't trust all you hear. The door opened. Floor 1, the crowd isn't there. But there is noise, immediate, deafening. A stadium roar exploded around us, lights, chants, drums. But there was no one there. Illusion? I asked. Memory, Grim replied. Figures flickered, flashes of football scenes, players, fans, moments, a goal, a miss, a red card, all overlapping, all wrong. Dungeon effect. Echo distortion. False sensory input. Delayed reaction timing. It's trying to desync us. Focus on the game, Grim said as he headed to the goalpost. Our opponent stood across from us on the other half of the smaller pitch. Wooden figure mannequins with flexible joints, all outlined and decorated with carving and writings I could not read. A soft light seemed to come off the markings. Noir took point. I controlled the midfield. Grim stayed on goal. Match start. Noir moved first, fast, precise. Don't watch the crowd, she said, watch us. 3 mascots, moving in sync. We advanced, step by step. Shadow lunged, shapeless, unstable. Ding. Enemy. Echo fragments. The enemy mannequins also had skills. I activated footwork instinctively. Clean movement, sharp turns. Even here. The fundamentals mattered. Grim cut through an echo. One clean move. Your side isn't just a prop here. I called to him. Waste nothing, he said. Noir vanished with the ball at her feet, reappeared behind another golem. Sent the ball into the net. And trust timing, she added. Goal. We had cleared the first floor. Floor 2. The environment shifted. New pitch. Glowing symbols in the brass. Lines twisted, goals misplaced, gravity slightly off, a new handicap. This is cursed. Ding. Dungeon effect. Broken formation. Spatial distortion. Movement prediction reduced. It's warping positioning. Noir crouched, analyzing. It wants us to lose shape. Grim nodded. So we don't. I stepped forward. Triangle. 3 points, I said. Constant support angles. Like midfield structure. Noir smirked. You're actually useful. We moved in. Match start. Always connected, always supporting. Pass and move. Always focused on our team and the ball. The dungeon shifted, tried to break us. The golems moved faster, adapted to our first floor gameplay. They tried to use their shadow echoes as additional players. It couldn't work. Noir winked in and out of sight faster than their echoes could move, and Grim cut down those unfortunate enough to come close to his scythe. I had control of the ball enough to send it through to a net that was drifting lazily around their side of the field. Anticipating where it was going came in handy. Goal. Condition MUT. Maintain formation under distortion. The space stabilized. Football, I said quietly. Solves everything. Floor 3. The final pitch materialized around us. Darkness, heavy. Then, a massive figure stepped forward. A night-looking mascot, old, torn, cloak dragging. 2 golems materialized beside it. I guess this is the big bad? I asked Noir and Grem. Beat it, Noir said. We get the relic. And if we lose? I asked. Grim didn't look away. We don't. Match start. It moved fast, too fast. Distorted, teleporting to switch positions with the golems and between the echoes. I sent the ball to Noir while it rushed my position. She struck first. Missed. The knight had switched forms with the golem at the goalpost and blocked the shot. Graham took point. He was slower than Noir, but he had his scythe clearing his path. Noir distracted the knight with a flashy display of moves. Graham took a shot. Blocked. It appeared out of nowhere and caught the ball. It's reading us, I said. Ding. Analysis mode active. Patterns, tiny delays, echo trails. It's not teleporting, I observed. It's moving through echoes to arrive at the golems. So we trap it, Noir said. Seems simple enough, Graham agreed. The plan was the triangle again. But tighter, smaller. Force it into one space. Limit movement. Noir baited. Grim cut off its escape by scything through the echoes between the knight and the golem position where I was headed. I stepped in. Timing everything. Now. We struck. Together. The echoes shattered. The keeper tried to teleport, staggered. One opening. I moved. Footwork, clean, precise. Final goal. Ding. Dungeon cleared. The relic. A pedestal rose. On it, a whistle. Black. Sleek. Ding. RRE Peropi. Referee's echo whistle. Effect. Briefly pause opponent momentum. Disrupt enemy skill activation timing. Utility, I muttered. I like it. Noir crossed her arms. Not bad, Lior. Grim nodded slightly. You adapted. We adapted, I corrected. A pause. Then Noir laughed. Careful. You'll make this a habit. We stepped out of the dungeon. The stadium felt normal again. The gravitas was cleared. Quiet. But not empty. Noir leaned against the wall. Next time, she said, we go higher. Grim turned away. There will be a next time. I asked, you know that means your team lost, right? They both ignored my jab. My interface blinked. Ding. New contacts added. Grim Graves. Noir Fong. So this is how it starts. Not rivals anymore. Not enemies. Something else. Teammates, I said, just like football. Noir smirked. Don't get sentimental. Grim paused. Win your matches first. Ding. MN Quest updated. Grow strong enough to control the game beyond the pitch. One step at a time. My system pulsed with the updated quest message. I smiled. I'll be ready.